All right, let's get right into it. For funeral homes today, your website is, without a doubt, one of the most critical parts of your service, but it's also one of the most overlooked. It's the very first place families meet you, and we're going to break down exactly why that first digital impression is absolutely everything. I want to kick things off with a statement that might sting a little, but honestly, it's the heart of our whole conversation today. The simple, hard truth is that for a lot of funeral homes, your website isn't just an asset. It might actually be costing you families. So that leads to the big questions, right? How could a website possibly be doing that? And why is this such a huge deal right now, more than ever before? Well, that's exactly what we're going to unpack. It all starts with this idea, a really common belief that your website is good enough. You have one, it's up and running, so it must be doing its job, right? Well, that's the misconception. And when we say good enough, we usually mean it just checks a few basic boxes. You've got your contact info up there, a page or two about what you do, maybe a couple photos of the building. The basics. And it's so easy to assume that just because it exists, it's working for you. But that assumption, that's where the real problem starts. So here's the reality check. Your website is no longer a digital brochure. It is the exact spot where a family makes a snap judgment about whether or not they can trust you. And here's the kicker. They make that decision in less than 60 seconds. That's it. To really get why this happens so fast, we have to completely shift our perspective. We need to stop thinking like funeral directors for a second and start thinking like the person who's actually visiting our website, a family member who's right in the middle of a crisis. Just try to imagine their state of mind when they land on your homepage. They're completely overwhelmed. They're emotional. They're facing this incredible pressure to make huge decisions and fast. What they're desperately searching for in that moment is clarity, and maybe more than anything, just some reassurance. So, knowing that's their mindset, what do they need from your website in those first few critical seconds? See, they aren't just casually browsing around. They have these urgent, unspoken questions that demand immediate answers. The very first question screaming in their mind is this one. What do we do now? They are looking for a first step, a clear path, a lifeline in all the chaos. And right on the heels of that first question is this one. Can these people actually help us? And this has nothing to do with your firm's long history. It's about competence, it's about compassion, it's about trust. And they judge all of that almost instantly based on the look and feel of your site. So once we really understand what these families need, it becomes crystal clear why so many older websites just completely fail them. Let's walk through 5 of the most common flaws that prevent a website from providing that instant help and reassurance. Okay, so what gets in the way? First, an outdated design. It subconsciously screams that your whole operation is out of touch. Second, if it's not mobile friendly, well, you've pretty much lost most families who are searching on their phones. A lot of sites also have the wrong focus. They go on and on about their own history instead of focusing on the family's immediate needs. Then there's the unclear service explanations, filled with industry jargon. And finally, they just don't have any genuinely helpful resources. No checklists, no simple guides, nothing to make a family's life a tiny bit easier. And this brings us to the most crucial point. There's a huge, hidden cost to all these flaws. It's this unknown number. The number of families who landed on your site, felt that flicker of confusion or frustration, quietly hit the back button, and called your competitor. You never even knew they were there. But look, it doesn't have to be this way at all. Let's pivot from the problem to the solution. Let's talk about what it means to build a truly modern, supportive digital experience that actually serves families when they need you most. This slide really puts it all into perspective. The old website, it focuses on the funeral home. The modern one, it gives clear guidance to the family. The old site is just informational. The new one is supportive. It goes from being clunky and hard to use on a phone to being a mobile-first experience. And it transforms from a confusing, outdated design into something that actively reduces stress. So a strong website today has a very clear job to do. First, it has to immediately guide families on what to do next. It needs to explain your services in plain, simple language, no jargon. Making contact should be completely effortless, no matter what device they're on. The whole design has to scream reassurance through its professionalism. And last, it should offer things that are genuinely helpful, resources that can make a terrible time just a little bit more manageable. And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? At the end of the day, this isn't about fancy technology or looking trendy. It all boils down to emotion. A good website actively reduces a family's anxiety. A poor one, whether you mean to or not, just adds to it.
So let's wrap all this up by completely reframing how we think about our websites. It is no longer just a page in an online directory. For most people, it is your new front door. It's the main way families enter your world.
Think about the order of things for a minute. Before a family ever hears your compassionate voice on the phone, before they walk through your actual doors, before they shake your hand, they've already met you. They've met your website. That is the first handshake. And if that digital handshake is weak, if the website feels confusing or clunky or just plain old, it sends a really powerful subconscious message. It tells that family that the entire experience of working with you is probably going to feel the exact same way. So let's leave with a new definition, one for today. A funeral home website is not a digital brochure. It's a decision-making tool for grieving families. And it only does one of two things. It either reduces their anxiety and draws them closer to you, or it increases their anxiety and quietly pushes them away. The only question left to ask is, which one is yours doing?